before we get into today's nesting video, I wanted to come and show you guys how I keep things organized in the car for the kids. So I'm always talking about home organization, but it's also very important to keep the car organized as a mom as much as you possibly can with kids. So I always keep a basket in my car. So there are formal car organization totes that you can get off Amazon, but a little life hack, if you go to Ross, you can find baskets for $10 and less. So I got this basket from Ross. But the star of the show, I really want to show you guys these little pouches. Special shout out to JARLINK for sending over these organization pouches. This specific set came with 18 different pouches. It also came with labels, so if you want to label them so you know what's actually in the pouch, that's an option as well. But like I said, it came with 18 different ones, all different sizes, so whatever you need them for, there's a size for it, trust me. So in my diaper caddy that I keep in the car, I use the organization pouches to keep my kids' clothes in. It's like my son has a pouch, my daughter has a pouch, and I just keep like a change of bottoms, shirts, socks, underwear, just in case when we're on the go. And then in this pouch, I keep like the disposable toilet liners for my daughter, and then also some flushable wipes. So these pouches come in handy. I also use them for like toy organization. My daughter has a dentist kit that she loves to play with, and it's not big enough for like a container, but it's too big for like a little Ziploc bag. So I love these pouches. The big size fits everything perfectly with her dentist kit. Also, it is so good for like homeschool. So if you're a homeschool mom, or if you have toddlers that you're teaching the fundamentals to, it's so good to keep all of your learning materials together. So for us, I keep our counting bears in one of these pouches. The container that it came in was breaking and kind of falling apart, so the pouch is so sturdy. It is like, it's not like a mesh material, it's plastic on the outside, so it's definitely sturdy. However, you can see through it, which I also like. So if you don't want to use the labels, it's no big deal because you can see through the pouch, which helps when it comes to going and finding the thing that you're looking for. When we welcome baby number 3, she will also have her own pouch. So I'll probably put like change of clothes, burp cloths, all of their essentials, so she can have some things in our diaper caddy as well. The diaper caddy does work well because if you don't want to carry a huge bag, a huge diaper bag, when you're out and about, you know that you always have extra essentials stocked in your car, so you don't have to carry that much with you. So definitely, if you don't have a diaper caddy, you need one as a mom for sure to just keep those essentials. Sometimes I'll also throw in like books in here or like little toys to keep them occupied while we're in the car. So once again, thank you to JARLINK. I will include these pouches down in the description in my Amazon storefront if you're interested. But if you're into your decluttering journey, organizing journey in 2026, trust me, you need these pouches. Welcome back to another nesting vlog. So we are 36 weeks pregnant as of yesterday. So we are getting a move on it. I finished pretty much everything other than like washing and sterilizing the bottles. I have a couple pacifiers. I was gonna get more, but I think I might just wait and see if she even likes pacifiers. My daughter did. She's 5. But when I had her, she loved pacifiers. My son is 2, and when I had him, he was not a pacifier baby. He wouldn't take a pacifier. So this time I'm like, do I want to buy a bunch of pacifiers, open them up, and then she not even take them? I don't know. So yeah, we need to wash and sterilize everything, organize like breast milk bags. I'm looking over here because I have all the stuff. I'm going to give you guys like a small little haul of like the stuff that needs to go in the kitchen that I have for baby. So we're handling all of that today. I do want to show you guys my breast pump situation. I got another breast pump through insurance, so we'll talk about that a little later. The washer is going in the background, so I'm hoping that you guys can still hear me well and that it's not too loud. But let's go ahead and get started with this haul. If you're new here, my name is Jasmine. Like I said, I have a 5-year-old girl, a 2-year-old boy. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I am pregnant with baby number 3, which is also another girl. So I will have 2 girls, 1 boy. So let's talk about all things feeding situation. So I have always used the Philips Advent bottles with almost 3 of my babies. So I'm just going to stick with what I know. I thought about getting the Philips glass bottles this time around. Maybe I should silence this. I thought about getting the Philips glass bottles this time around, but the reason why I didn't is because my husband, I feel like he'll break them. So like he's always breaking the cups in the kitchen. I think a plate has been broken, a bowl, and I just have a feeling that if I get glass bottles, they're not going to last long. So I'm going to be smart about it and just use the plastic bottles that have worked for me for my other 2 kids. So I love these. I think I tried the Dr. Brown's bottles with my first. Didn't like them. I've tried the MAM. It's M-A-M. I guess that's how you pronounce it. And those were pretty good. I had that with my first also. But I'm just going to stick with what I know. No need to try all these different bottles. So these are the anti-colic. This is the 1 month Flow 2. And then I have... Okay, yeah. So I have the 0 month and up. So she'll start out with these. This is Flow 1. And then this is for 1 month and up, Flow 2. So this holds, I think, how much does this hold? Does it tell me? Okay, these are 9-ounce bottles, and then these are 4-ounce. So I'm just going to stick with these to start off. I do not want to buy, you don't need a bunch of bottles. You really don't. You just need enough to get you by, and she's going to be on me most of the time. We pretty much just use bottles for when my husband feeds her. Like if I have to step out the house and he needs to feed her until I get back. That's really the only reason why we use bottles, unless I switch to formula. But the plan is to breastfeed, so she's just going to be latching on me probably 80 to 90% of the time, really. With my first, I worked the first 9 months of her life, and then I became a stay-at-home mom. So I think I breastfed her for like 4 months. So I had a little bit more when it came to like bottles and everything, because she was getting fed by my Nana, my grandmother, while I was at work. And then when we switched over to formula for her, she was on bottles, obviously 24/7. So she had a little bit more, but when you have a breastfed baby that latches on you, you really don't need that much. So 4-ounce bottles, 9-ounce bottles. And then I also got, instead of buying whole new bottles, I just got different nipples for when she outgrows those. So like I said, I have the 0 month and up, which is Flow 1. I have 1 month and up, which is Flow 2. I have 3 months and up, which is Flow 3. And then I have 6 months and up, which is Flow 4. So we're covered up until, we probably won't need more bottles. We probably won't, since we have the nipples that are the different flows. So that's a tip. If you don't want to buy like a bunch of new bottles, just buy the nipples to go on top of the bottles that you already have. That's that. I also have this freeze and feed mini combo Haka feeder. I think that I showed you guys this already in one of my other nesting videos. So if you haven't watched the other nesting videos, make sure you go back and watch them. But my friend bought me this and I'm super excited. So I usually have like the little mesh feeders that you can put like the frozen fruit in for them to eat when they start teething and, you know, eating food and everything. So this says 4 months and up. But this is the Haka brand. I've never used this one. It actually comes with, can y'all see that? Hopefully you can. It comes with like the little molds. So if I wanted to put like, I've only done like frozen fruit, but I can put breast milk in the molds and then she can suck it that way too. She can use that. So it doesn't have to be frozen fruit, or I can do like fresh pressed juice if I want to and freeze it in the mold. I'm excited to use this. So that's something new that I've never used before. Like I said, I do have a couple of pacifiers. I have used the MAM brand before. I've used a lot of different pacifiers, but I have these. I think we're just gonna stick with these for now. I might go and see if they have, I think it's the Tommy Tippy pacifiers that I also wanted to try. But like I said, I'm debating on whether I want to even waste money on pacifiers. I might just see if she likes these. And if she doesn't, we might just go with no pacifier. Maybe I'll buy more. Who knows? But we're going to start out with these. I'm going to wash these today and sterilize them, so at least I will have a couple on hand. We have some teethers. I will probably go ahead and wash these and just put them like in a Ziploc bag, even though she's not going to need them anytime soon. So I have the Dr. Brown's Aqua Cool. These were given to me. I think all of these were given to me. And then I have the Giraffe Dr. Brown's Teether. This is so cute. The little giraffe. And then my daughter, it's funny because my daughter, we were at Target and she picked this out for a baby sister. So I had to get it because she wanted to get it for her. So it's like little cherries and it's a teether. So hopefully baby sister likes this one. What else do we have? Haka. This will be, well, I'm not going to pack it in my hospital bag. I don't need it at the hospital, but definitely washing, sterilizing, and it's going to be put on my little bedside breastfeeding area because I love the Haka. This is how I build like a little freezer supply in the beginning without pumping, because I wait a little bit to pump. I let my body like just get used to the baby first to fully establish the supply before I start like pumping. So the Haka helps because while I'm feeding her on one side, I put the Haka on the other side and I get a good freezer stash from that. So the Haka is a must. I threw it away after I had my son, so I needed another one. And this one comes with the stopper. I've never had the stopper before, so I don't think that it's necessary, but it would be helpful. So if it does kind of like tip over, you won't waste any milk because there's something holding it all in. So I'm excited about my Haka. And then this is for my son. I'm gonna wash and sterilize it, and I think it'll be fun for her to use. This is one of my favorite teethers. First of all, it's so cute. Like, look at this. And then it's so easy for them to hold the way that it's made. This is probably like literally my favorite teether. So we're going to wash and sterilize this, and she can use it as well. It's the Nuby brand. And I'll have my Amazon storefront in the description box below if you see anything that you're interested in. If you're pregnant or just had a baby, I'll have all this stuff linked below. So yeah, I have my little favorite teether that we're bringing back out. So I have so many. I'll show you guys when we get to the kitchen, but I have so many of these breast milk bags, the Motive brand. I am usually a Lancino. Is that how you pronounce it? That's how I pronounce it. The Lancino brand. I have used these with my first kid, my second kid. I love the Lancino breast milk storage bags. They've never leaked for me. They've never done me wrong. But through insurance, they gave me like 300 of these. So we will be using these since they were free. Somebody gave me some. So this is a 100 count bag unopened. So I have 100 of these. I have 300 in the kitchen. This is a 40 count unopened. And then I have these left over. And I don't know how many's in here, but I have a little bit of Lancino. And I was going to buy more Lancino, but I'm going to use the free ones that I have. So I do not need to buy any breast milk bags. I have plenty. Plenty for now, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining. I'm super grateful for that. So we'll talk about that in a second. Let me stay focused. Okay, so I have a Haka double-ended silicone brush. So we're going to be using this today to wash the bottles. I usually have like the basic, I'll try to put a picture, the basic little bottle scrubbers. I don't know what material it is. I've never had a silicone one, but I feel like this will last a lot longer and I'll probably like it better than the traditional bottle scrubber brushes. So yeah, it's silicone. It's not gonna, the wear and tear, I feel like it'll last longer, like I just said. Girl, you're repeating yourself at this point. But so it has like the little smaller tip on this end and the bigger tip on this end. So I'm excited to use this. It came in a cute little carrying case. This is so cute. I might leave it in here. Like once it dries, once I use it and it dries, just keep it in the little bag. That's cute. Okay, Haka. And then in one of my, I think it was my last nesting video, I talked about this when I got it from Amazon, but this is the Dr. Brown's drying tower. I know it's really popular right now to have bottle washers. We don't have a bottle washer. We hand wash the bottles from my first, my second, so we're gonna be doing that again. I think they do have the little basket that you can put in your like traditional dishwasher, but we've always just hand washed bottles. So we're old school. We're old school around here. So I got another drying tower. I used to have like the little drying, like the grass, and I had another one before, but I like this one because it goes up, so hopefully it'll save space on the counter. So yeah, I've never had this specific drying tower, but I feel like I will like it, and I think it'll hold enough for the amount of bottles that we have. We only have 6, so. And then, oh no, is this open? Make sure that stays closed. So I am using the Attitude brand this go around. This is new. With my first and second, I use 7th generation. Never really fed into the ditl hype. I did use Drift when it came to like laundry detergent with my first, but since then a lot has changed in 5 years, so I'm really trying to move towards more like cleaner products these days, like in the past several years. So I have the baby wash, like her body wash in this brand, and then I have the lotion in this brand. So they also have a dishwashing liquid, a baby bottle dishwashing liquid. So we're gonna try this out. I got the unscented. I think I've said it before, but anything related to baby, I do not do scents. I just keep everything unscented just to make sure that their skin, nothing gets irritated. So I'm excited to use this. Like I said, I usually use 7th generation, which nothing is wrong with that, but I wanted to try something new. And then we're just sticking with the brand since I'm using their body wash and lotion as well. So I only got 1 bottle of this. It's 23 ounces. It's a pretty thick bottle, but I wanted to make sure that I like it first. So even with her like body wash and lotion, I didn't buy multiple of those because I just want to make sure that I actually want to stick with the brand before I just buy a bunch of, you know, something that I might not even like. Who knows? So with my son, I know you are supposed to replace your pump parts. I think it's every 3 months, but I did not do that. When I went to get my breast pump for this baby on Aeroflow breastpumps.com, that's where you can get like the free breast pump and everything through insurance. They brought up the pump that I had for my son, and I never got the replacement parts for it. So I went ahead and ordered that. So I got the replacement parts that goes with both of my Spectra pumps, and then they sent the breast milk bag. So all of that was really from my son that I had 2 years ago that was still in the system that was free for me. So I got that, and then like I said, I was able to still get a pump for this baby as well. And I'm gonna try to keep up with getting the replacement parts for that pump. I think it's every 3 months. But that's all I have for the kitchen things. I have a few things that I had from my other 2 kids that I keep in one of the cabinets. So we'll go through that to see what's down there, because I kind of don't even know what's down there. So we'll go see, and then we're gonna go ahead and wash bottles. I'm so glad that I only have 6. I didn't know, I kind of forgot what I had. So it's not gonna be too much to wash and then sterilize all of this, but we're gonna get to it. And then after that, I will show you guys the breast pumps. So the bottles have been washed and sterilized, and they are currently on the drying rack. So I'm going to let those completely dry before I put them away. But this is where the bottles are going to go, in this kitchen cabinet. I just created a little space right here, which should be enough because, like I said, we only have 6 bottles. And then, like, some things like my Haka will go upstairs. The pacifiers will be where they need to be. So not everything will stay up here. Probably just the teethers and the bottles. So yeah, that's like our little bottle storage area. This is my little bedside area. So in this first basket, I have some burp cloths just so I won't have to get up in the middle of the night. And then I have my lactation massager. I left the manual back there because I have never used one of these before. So it's back there just in case I need to have some instructions on how to use it. And then this, I just kind of threw all of my old pump parts in here. This is my old Spectra pump parts. I just washed and sterilized the new ones. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this since it's so old. These go to my Mom Cozy S12 Pros. I don't know if I'm going to be using that pump. I might go ahead and get replacement parts just in case, because these need to be replaced. But here's like the actual like pump for it. I have some chargers to my pumps, extra flanges, different sizes that I got from Amazon with my son, so that were unused. So those are still good. And then some more tubes, I think, for my Spectras. This is the small Spectra that I have. The suction is really good. I got this with my son through insurance, but it's just a lot smaller than like the big Spectra. So we have that. And for now, I think I'm just going to leave this stuff in here. I'm not going to do anything with this today, but it is here already ready to go. And yeah, we'll see what we're going to do with that stuff. Okay, moving down here, I have another basket. This is like my snack basket. I'm going to put some breastfeeding friendly snacks in here. I got some mini kind bars to throw in here, and then I have this omega-3 trail mix. I'm trying to find snacks that are breastfeeding friendly but also low in sugar. I don't want like super sugary snacks. And then this is my, can you guys see that? Yeah, the Postpartum Emotional Baby Blues supplement that I'm going to take from Wish Gardens. I am taking their, what is it called? It's like their supplement that they have for post-contractions, like contractions after birth. And I've taken that with my first, my second, and now I'm going to be taking that with my third. So I decided to try some other supplements from Wish Gardens because I really like the brand. So yeah, Postpartum Emotional Baby Blues to kind of keep the mood regulated after birth. And then they also have another supplement that I plan to get that you will start at 5 or 6 weeks, and it's to balance your hormones too. So it's another like mood support. I have my blue Spectra. I can't remember if this is the Spectra S1 or 2. I don't know. This is the one that doesn't have to be like plugged up to work. You just charge it. So I'll make sure that's charged and ready to go. This is my new pump that I got for this baby through insurance. And then I have some nursing pads over here. I think I'm going to throw some of these in my basket up here, though. We're going to go ahead and do that. Nursing pads over here, and that freed up some space down there. I'll show you guys where I moved the box, but I'll probably put my new pump down there, or I may move this and put my new pump up here. I don't know. But this is my little area. I wanted to go ahead and just set a few things up to make the transition home a little easier. And this is where I'm going to keep the extra nursing pads just on our little changing cart. If you want a full overview of our little changing station area in our room, then make sure that you watch the previous nesting video.